I'm going to share some video with you of a test that I did at the range a couple of years ago. And anybody that's interested in the gun ban discussion that's going on now after the horrific event of this week, watch this video and then I'll come back and explain it.
Go.
Okay, so that was me shooting a stock Glock 19 straight out of the box. No hoity-toity doodads, aftermarket accessories to make it shoot fast. Just a proficient shooter with a pistol in his hands. At .15 splits, which is about 6.5 rounds a second, which comes out to about 400 rounds per minute. Now, I've heard a lot of people talking about nobody needs a weapon that's capable of shooting 400 rounds per minute. If you are successful with that argument and you ban anything capable of shooting 400 rounds per minute, every single person in the United States who has a semi-automatic pistol will have their pistols banned. That's what you're talking about. So before you go out on a witch hunt to go after things that you think are going to fix a problem that is much bigger than the tools that are being used. It's not bump fire stocks, it's not binary triggers, okay? It's psychopaths intent on killing people. Now, I've carried the same Glock for almost 20 years. It has never gotten up and walked out the door and shot somebody. It has never even had an argument with me. It's always just been an inanimate object. It just sits there. I've waited 20 years and it's never even said hello or good morning, much less do anything else. So why would you ban an inanimate object? There's so much misinformation going on right now that yes, in the chaos, people are going to get caught up with emotion. And unfortunately, they may jump to action so that they can appear to be doing something. But what we're doing is surrendering our constitutional rights. Rights that were written for a very specific purpose. If you read the Third Amendment, you'll understand that we're protected in the Third Amendment from having to quarter troops in our homes. Now, that hasn't really applied in a very long time. And the reason it was included is because the Founding Fathers had to deal with the British Army coming into their homes, slaughtering their livestock, taking all their crops, destroying their house when they left, leaving them with nothing. That was their livelihood. So, yeah, the Second Amendment is there to protect the people of the United States against a tyrannical government. It's not talking about today's government. It's talking about preventing it from becoming the government of Joseph Stalin or Adolf Hitler or Mao Zedong, Pol Pot, Fidel Castro, or any number of the other leaders of the 20th century that combined murdered 170 million of their citizens. That's why it's there. It's not because people who exercise the Second Amendment hate the government. It's to the contrary. We love the government of the United States of America. It has provided us with a place to prosper for years. And if we allow that balance of power to go out of whack, then eventually, yes, it is very possible that somebody could get into power, change the government for the worse, and as subjects, there would be nothing we could do about it. That's why we have the Second Amendment. And so when you think about, well, did the Founding Fathers want us to have machine guns? Because they didn't have machine guns back then. Well, did they want us to have free speech? Because they didn't have the internet back then. They didn't have radio. They didn't have TV. I don't know. It's all in how you look at it. But if you look at the spirit of the law, that's why we have free speech on TV, on the internet. That's why the Second Amendment extends to something more than a musket. So these are things to ponder. Have a good evening, and God bless America.